Hi, my name is Richard Stark. I'm with RV Airflow Systems, and today we're going to do a little installation video on installing our kit on a Coleman Mach 3. This particular kit will fit a Coleman Mach 3, Mach 15, and a Mach 10. The rig that we're working on today is a Grand Design 399. So we're going to dive into the instructions on this. So we're gonna read the instruction sheet. So yeah, I have to put my glasses on. Alright, so the first step, tools required. We're going to go over that. I'm just going to call out the tools required. We're going to show the tools. Now down in the main living area on most rigs, you know, the ceiling's a little bit too tall, so we have to use a step stool. I like using a cordless drill. It just makes the installation a little bit quicker. Number 3, we want a number 2 Phillips screwdriver or a drill bit, you know, so we can use it on the cordless. Most of the screws that we run across in the RVs now are a square drive, so we've got a square drive here. Now, as we go through the installation, this is a 5/16 socket drive, which whenever we go through the installation, we'll show where this is used as well. Okay, so on the next part, the parts of the kit. So this guy right here, this is the main kit itself, and these are what we call duct inserts, and there's 2 of these. A little bit later on in the video, whenever we get into this in the installation process, we'll show you where these go and how they install. So this is what you receive in the kit, and of course your instruction sheet. So let's start disassembling this thing. So on these Coleman ceiling assemblies, you've got 2 little tabs here for the filter. So you kind of push them forward and unsnap it, and then you grab the end of the filter and slide it out. Of course, the same thing on the other side. Alright, now on these Colemans, the cover plate here, you've got 4 screws. You've got 1 in each corner, and these are square drives. So we're going to remove these 4 screws and lower this cover down. Alright, of course, some of these screws we're going to be reusing, so set them aside. Alright, now the next part we've got to remove is the air shower cover. Okay, now some of the rigs, you know, of course you can see the 2 screws here. Some have another screw in the back and 1 up front. This one here only has 2 screws holding it. So let's pull these guys out. So one thing I want to talk about here as well, since we're taking down this air shower cover, our kit eliminates the air shower portion of this of the ceiling assembly. So this air shower cover right here, this is going to be discarded. We're not going to be reusing this part. We're going to set this guy aside. Okay, so now we have exposed the entire plenum area. So the next step here in the disassembly is removing the anchor bolts for the air conditioner on each corner. Now these bolts are 5/16 head, or 5/16 size, so we're going to grab our little socket drive here. We're going to this goes a lot quicker whenever you're using cordless drill. Of course, whenever you're taking down the last one, hold the opposite side so it doesn't fall on your head. Okay, of course, since that's the anchor plate for the air conditioner, we're going to be reusing this, so set it aside. Alright, so the next thing we're going to see is this separator plate on the inside here. Now that we've got the anchor plate out of the way, we simply pull this out. We are not going to be reusing this separator plate as well, so we can discard this. Alright, so the next thing we want to take a look at, we want to make sure this foil tape is up here. We don't want any flaps in the way. we kind of want to make sure all this is in place and we don't have a bunch of foil tape in our way. This is actually pretty clean on this one. We're going to grab one of the duct inserts. Now on the duct inserts we have this protective tape on the outside. This is sticky tape. So we're going to peel the backing off of it. Kind of tricky to do sometimes. Okay, so we got all three sides. All right, so we've got all our protective, the protective tape off. Now this is sticky tape. All right, so we have to get this lined up before we actually stick it for good. So the way we're going to do, we're going to take this flat side here, and this is going to be going over on this side, on this corner. What we typically do is insert the front side first and just kind of wiggle it into place. You might have to put your finger up there and get some of the foil tape out of the way and push up on the ducting, but it'll go in just like that. So that's that one. Okay, so here's the second one. We got to get our protective tape off of this one. This one's tearing a little bit on me. Okay, alright, we got this one. Alright, so let's get this one up here in place. Remember, we want to start at the front here and kind of guide it into place. Kind of work it into the ducting, just like that. So that one's in. Okay, so the next thing we want to do, we want to grab the kit here. As we look at the kit, this slope here goes towards the front of the air conditioner. Easiest way to install this, we put it up at about a 45-degree angle and we just kind of slide it up into place. And that's what it looks like up in place there. So the next thing we're going to do, that should stay in itself. So the next thing we do, we take one of the bolts and start it into one of the front bolt holes up here. And we want to hold this the anchor plate in place. So just tighten this gently. So we grab another bolt. Let's do the opposite side in the front. That way we can see the bolt hole. We can see where we're tightening. This also helps align the back of it. Alright, here's the next one. Sometimes you have to wiggle the bolt around to find the bolt hole, but it should be pretty simple to find them. At this point, everything is probably pretty much self-aligning. Now, whenever we tighten, we want to tighten the air conditioner. We want to tighten these lag bolts. If you look up in the front here, up in this area, you'll see the air conditioner gasket right here. Tightening the air conditioner, there's a couple of things that we need to keep in mind. First of all, we want to use a crisscross pattern. Okay. Now, whenever we retighten these, we want to tighten these to where they just make contact, and we want to turn these about 6 turns total each one. So you kind of want, whenever you retighten the whole air conditioner down, you want to kind of alternate between the bolts. And I've got my drill set here, and we'll kind of tighten these, get them tightened a little bit. We want to make sure that we compress the air conditioner gasket evenly. So what we want to do, we want to tighten these bolts no more than about 6 turns total. We'll go on this side, we'll tighten this one up. We had already tightened this one a little bit, so we'll get to this one and then this last one here. Alright, that's it. The kit is installed. Now on reassembly, it's pretty simple. There it is. Okay, so we grab our square drive again, and we want to grab our cover plate here. Now I've got a magnetic tip on here, so it'll hold the screw a little bit. So you hold the cover plate back into place, find the screw there, or the hole. All right, start one, but don't tighten it all the way. We want to be able to leave it loose enough to where we can find the screw holes on the other side. I typically do the opposite side. All right, last one. All right. Let's give these another little tighten, and should be good. All right, we're good. Okay, let's reinstall our filters here. Just kind of slide them into the channel. And remember, whenever you're installing these covers, you've got these little tabs here. So these go on the bottom side. You have these two little tabs here that go into the cover. So just kind of snap these into place like that. Okay, same thing. The tabs are pointing down, and our alignment tabs here go into the cover, and then snap the center one, and we're all done. So now we can turn the air conditioner on, and I'm just turning the fan on right now.